everybody, it's Jill from Glimmerbug Art Studio, and today I wanted to share with you a process video on how I put together this little mermaid. I watched a video a couple weeks ago on, or maybe last week, on this lady who makes these really cute art dolls. And my girls are always kind of futzing around with making little paper dolls and that kind of thing. So I thought, well, I'm going to try it out. So I grabbed an online stencil and some papers out of my scrap box, and I just got to work. And I played around with very minimal supplies. I just used some glitter paper that I had in my box and some old, was this like a old book paper, I think it was. And then some little bits and bobs from a little box that I have of beads and that kind of thing, some old tulle that some flowers were wrapped in that I kept around, and I made this adorable little mermaid doll. So I think she came out really cute, and she's got a lot of different colors and layers. This actually, her skirt and her bikini top was actually from an envelope that somebody had painted maybe, I don't know, a year or two ago, that had sent it to me, and I thought it was really pretty, and I kept it. And then I just kind of added a little extra couple little embellishments, and then I did the face really simply. I just kept the eyes shut because I'm not too confident with making eyes just yet. So yeah, so I just wanted to share with you how I made her, and I did a little sped up process video so that you can see how she is created, and maybe if you'd like to check it out and see if you would like to make one. It's a perfect way to use up your scraps in your scrap box and in your stash. And I think my 8-year-old really wants it because she loves all the sparkly bling. But it'd be kind of cute to use because the back is pretty plain. You could finish the back. I didn't, but I could. You could use it as like a little gift tag, or a bookmark or something like that people might really get a kick out of seeing. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to show you today. And if you like it, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, subscribe, and I hope to do more videos like this in the future. If I try to make some time to do this kind of stuff, and I really enjoy it. So yeah, so that's the scoop. So what you need is just some glue, some scrap papers, if you have like some beads, some extra little ephemera. I cut up a bunch of old book pages, and it's really, I painted her in using just acrylic, plain craft paint that I got at, this is just the kind that I've got at the Walmart down the street. So, I didn't spend really anything. I just used whatever I had in my stash and went with it from there. So yeah, so let's get started and take a look. And if you have any questions, drop me a note, and I will leave a link to the template for her on below so that you can download that. And I'll have some more pictures of her on my blog if you want to check that out. It's glimmerbug.com. And all right, let's get started. All right, so let's get started. I grabbed a cereal box that I had in the cabinet to use as my base for the mermaid doll. So I wanted something that was a little bit thick, and I didn't really want to use up my my good watercolor paper, since I knew I was going to cover it, but I just wasn't sure what I was going to cover it with yet. So I thought, well, I'll cover it with, I'll do the cereal box because you might as well use up what you have, recycle, right? And then painting it with some gesso to give it a little more width, or a little more, what am I looking to say, weight. And I wasn't sure at this point if I was going to paint her or do mixed media on her, so I wanted to give myself options. So that's why I decided to just do a couple layers of gesso excuse me, to cover up what was on there for the cereal box. And then I made sure I cut out 2 of the faces part of the template, because I wanted to have her face be a little bit 3-dimensional from her neck. So that's why I have 2 faces. So I just glued them together to give them a little bit of height. And then I added this paper. That pink paper is from a file folder, as you can see, and it was from something that somebody had sent me, and I loved it. So I wanted to use that as the tail and the bikini part of the mermaid. So I used that as part of the stencil, and then I painted her body with like just a cream color from the Walmart cheapo acrylic paint to give her color. And then you'll see later on I add a little bit more shading to her with some darker browns and stuff to give her a little bit more dimension. And the same with her hair. I wasn't sure, did I want to paint her hair? What did I want to do? So I had that done in the, I did the template on cardboard from the cereal box, and then I decided I was going to use that, put that aside for a minute while I did the tail so I could give it a little bit of a thought. And I added her tail on and her bikini, and I just freeballed the bikini part, cut it out. And then I wanted her tail to be kind of askew, so that's why I cut off part of the little bottom part of the mermaid body, because I wanted it to not go straight down. So yeah, she's a little bit of an angle, so it kind of looks like she's got some movement to her, which I thought was kind of cute. And I cut off that little piece after. And then, so with her hair, what I ended up deciding to do was I printed out some French book paper that I found on Pinterest. Oh, see, here's where I'm at in a little bit of shadow. I do some more later on that you'll see. But I found this book paper, and I just printed on my printer, and then I put the hair template onto that and glued it on, and then dried it, and then just cut out around the template, because I thought I didn't want it to be too plain, and I didn't want it to be like, I didn't want to paint the hair to have it just be one-dimensional. So that's why I decided to do it on some book paper, and then go around the edge with a marker, and then add some strands and of different colors. Obviously I used brown, and I used yellow, and then I added in some rubber stamps using some brown ink to give it a little bit more sass. And then I used my stickles in gold, because I love stickles, and I added that because I think mermaids need to have some sassy bling bling. So she's got some fabulous looking hair. And then I did her face, but I'm not a super great face painter yet. So I messed around with a marker, and then I thought, I want to do the paint, the acrylic paint. So I just used like teeny tiny little lips, and then I did the eyes closed, because that way I wasn't stressing myself out to make open eyes, and I didn't want to mess her up at this point, because I loved how she was turning out. So I thought, well, I'll just do the eyes closed, and then maybe my next go around I'll try it with the eyes open, because I'll have a little more confidence. So I think she's really cute with her eyes closed. And then, I added in some more shading in her little belly button, and put some color around her, like black rubber stamp ink around, and some more stickles, because why not? And then for her, what she's holding, she kind of looks like she's taking a touchdown, so I wanted her to be holding something, and I decided that I would cut out a little arc out of the cardboard from the cereal box, paint it gold, and then I freehanded cut some little stars to add to it, so that it's kind of going up above her head, because I thought that's kind of cute. And I just used sparkly glitter paper that I had in my stash from, I think it was like a kid's craft project. I can't really remember, but I thought it was kind of a cute little thing to add on. It gave her a little bit of shimmer. And as I was looking at her tail, I thought, well, she needs a little something else. So I went back to that book paper and a couple other little pieces of paper from my stash, and I just freehand drew out some flowers, and then poked some little holes in the middle so I could add a brad to the middle of them to give it a little three-dimensional look. And I bent the petals around my pencil to kind of make it pop out a little bit. I screwed up on one, so I had to recut it. I actually ripped one of the petals off of a flower like a dope, so that's why I had to go do another one. And then I just doodled around the edges of each of the flowers to kind of give it a little bit of a doodle look and freehand look, and then put them all together. And then I just glued it onto the mermaid's bottom half of her body. And I wanted to put some little extra stuff on there, so I used my little glitter pen to add some doodly whatnot. And then I went into my ephemera stash and I found some tulle and I found some yarn. I don't remember where I got it. I stick stuff in this box and then I either never see it again or I use it for something. And I thought, well, this is kind of cool. I'll add that on there. It just gives it a little bit more dimension and something different. So yeah, that's why I added in that. And then of course I had to put the pearls on because mermaids, pearls, hello. And I had those in my stash. So I thought that was kind of a pretty little addition to her little body. And I was constantly kind of messing around with the shading of her arms and to give her a little bit more oompa loompa. So that's why I was putting that on there. But I think she came out really cute. I'm really happy with her. So I'll put a link below to the template, and there are more pictures on my site if you want to check it out. And thanks for watching. Bye.